minutes D-Live stream. Well, g'day D-Live, and welcome back to the Gives a Minute D-Live stream for a Monday afternoon affair. It has just gone, what's that, 3 minutes to 5 in the PM for me. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening to you, whatever the time it is, wherever you're consuming this content. You're always welcome right here on the Gives a Minute D-Live, your stream, your rules stream. Looking into the chit chat, I see Redco, I see Davo, I see myself, and I see Redox. I also see a follow from BC Games. I'll give that a little snippety snap in a second, but 3 cheerses. 3 becomes 1. It's just 1. 1 is enough. You don't need 3. Do you want to hear it 3 times? Remember I used to get told off for doing that? So I'm just trying to follow the suit pattern here and not get on anybody's nerves. BC Games, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Who did that? Elsa with the host. Little Twitter bug you little Twitter follower. Thanks, Elsa. Cheers, man. BC Games. Thanks for following the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Now, this makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Huh? Oh, you want to know why this makes you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content. Well, me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. So you see how we're both givers here? And this is a two-way street, and you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Thanks for the follow. Cheers. Redco, come over to Kick. Not today. This is... Oh, did I turn on Kick? Oh, shit, my battery's low on my iPad. Well, who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? This is a YouTube stream. This is a D-Live stream. Come on over to D-Live. Jack Daniels might give that a taste and a try this year. Davo, you've never had Jack? Whew. That went over my head. You've never had Jack before? How could that be? That can't be, dude. Not saying it can't be, but it can't be. It can't be. Jack Daniels, our YouTube stream folks, D-Live stream folks, and here you are already, so I'll shut my trap. Looks like we're back on the D. Redox, Elsa with the host. Elsa, happy holidays gives. Ooh, non-secular. It's Merry Christmas, not holidays. Well, it can be both. You know what? If you don't do Christmas, you can still do holidays. If you do holidays and you do Christmas, it can be both. But if you don't do Christmas, and you can do holidays. So you've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to accept that not everyone does holidays or does Christmas. Now I'm having an issue here. I'm going to close my iPad. It's out of time. What's up, Gibbs? Yo, Charles, how you doing? What's cracking? Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas, Merry again, Redox. It's a break. That's what it is. Right on. It's the end of the freaking year. It should just be like happy end of the year, you beautiful specimens. Now, folks, this in my hand is a Stream Deck. This in my other hand is a Stream Deck Mini. There's also a Stream Deck XL, which is just this guy with a whole bunch more buttons, which I've always thought, I really need that many more buttons because you've got endless buttons on here with like pages and whatnot. But Stream Deck did just announce, while I was in New Zealand a little while ago, the Stream Deck Plus. Now this looks very interesting because it includes a touch bar, which I'm not that thrilled about because touch bars, we all know how they went on the Mac. Rubbish! But it does include tactile volume knobs. You see these little knobses? Now why would that be important for a streamer? Well, for someone like me that does like a lot of audio intensive streaming, cap games and music coming in and different sources, I've got the ability with a Stream Deck to add a button which is volume up, and a button which is volume down for any app that you choose. You can just map it to the app. I map it to iTunes or Music as it's called, and then I can control the volume of music while we're playing the cap game. But what would be better than tapping a button up and down, one button up and one button down? A volume knob, right? Dude, it'd be even better if these were faders, right? If they were faders, like, is the Stream Deck Plus Plus going to be faders, not volume knobs? Either way, a tactile knob which goes up and down, and you can map it to any app. Well, shit me, that is a brilliant update to the Stream Deck. Let's take a look at it. I need it and I don't all at the same time. I need it. Actually, there's one product from Elgato that I absolutely would love. This is like, to be completely frank, this is just, it's like icing on the cake. I'm already doing, like, I can already do what I do on the Stream Deck regulation. This guy, old number 7 regulation Stream Deck. I don't need the Stream Deck Plus, but would I like it? Hell yeah. But one product from Elgato that I would absolutely love is the foot pedal Stream Deck. Now, not looking at that today, but that's basically what it sounds like. A foot pedal you stomp on, and you can set it. It's got two buttons on either side, one on left, one on right, and then a center button, which you can either set to mute or you can set to something else. And why would that be handy? Well, when it comes to the end of the stream time, at the end of my stream, what I do, and I'm not too sure if everybody else does this, but I have so many pages on my Stream Deck. I go to 2, go to page 3, go to page 4, go to page 5, go to page 6, go to page 7, and there's the end stream button. So if I was to hit that now, it would start the process of ending the stream. Now, what does that mean as a process? It means running some audio. So the audio starts. Audio starts a bit earlier than the visuals. The delay, then the visual. It's a multi-action. Audio begins, starts playing, ramps in with a nice gentle fade in. As it gets in, comes to time that the visuals come, cuts to the visuals, kills all the background audio and microphone and all that crap, plays the outro video with the added audio from the Stream Deck audio, gets to the end of the piece, goes to a blank scene, stops the stream. Now that's a multi-action. The reason I do that all the way over here is so that I don't accidentally go all the way back to the start here. And if I chose this one, we're going to go over here. I don't want to accidentally end the stream, so I put it all the way, I bury it all the way back to the end here. And then if I tap it now, it's all over, right? So I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go all the way back to the start. Why would a Stream Deck pedal be handy? Because you could assign that action, that multi-action, to the left button of the pedal, and then when I go to end a stream, I'd just go like this. And you didn't even know what I just did, but I took this foot, show feet, I took that big hideous foot and I tapped the right button of an imaginary Stream Deck pedal, and it did what this did without me even looking at it. That's a product I need. That's a product I want. That's a product I hope Santa Claus puts in his freaking stocking and shoves down the imaginary chimney. Gibbs is like the Michael Jordan of stream setups. The Michael Jordan. Shit. All right. Hey, Gibbs. Yo, Giggles. How you doing, Giggle Pickles? What's cracking? How you going, Giggles? Good to see you. Good to have you. Good to know you. So, with that all said, let's take a look at the Stream Deck Plus. All the feels for a fast, smooth, intuitive workflow. One interface to rule them. I'll put your yahoos over here. One interface to rule them all. Stream Deck Plus gives you incredible powers. Let me read this larger. Make this larger. It gives you incredible powers to interact with your setup. Instant, tactile, granular control. Limitless customization. Plugins galore. Make it yours. Master your craft. Yeah. Oh, what was that noise? Tap. Trigger almost any action you want. Switch camera, mute your mic, launch apps, apply sound effects, turn on lights, change scenes, and much more. Heck yeah. Turn. Adjust volume levels in image details, camera zoom, brightness, white balance. Oh, wow. You can assign it to that shit? I didn't know about that. Any incremental app settings. Push to cycle through dial actions. Oh, it's a push button and a dial. Now I want it even more. Oh, I want it now. I want it. Touch. I don't know about this touch screen though. Control apps with a touch. Swipe to change pages and see dial information at a glance. Yeah. Anything that makes you look down, I don't like. Like this is kind of counterintuitive to what the Stream Deck is. Like I just changed scenes then and you didn't even notice I was doing it. Like, cause I'm not looking at it. I'm fingering it. That's all I'm doing. I'm fingering my Stream Deck right now. I don't want to look down and have to look at a swipe bar, because then I'm looking down at it, and I might as well be looking down at my laptop at that point. If I'm looking down at my Stream Deck, I might as well look at my keyboard. So Stream Deck Plus touch bar, yeah, not so keen on that part. Should we watch the trailer? I'm actually going to play a video here. Stream Deck Plus is... Are these clickable? Activate voice changer and voice mod. You can do that. Easily switch between your headphones and speakers. Play a sound from your soundboard. What's this crap? Tap to mute your stream instantly, and these volume knobs. Turn to adjust voice chat. Push to cycle through and adjust other audio. Hell yeah. Get that out of there. Why can't it disappear? Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Your audio station. Get hands-on control for all your audio sources. Stream Deck Plus also unlocks thousands of royalty-free tracks, sound effects, and powerful wavelength mixing software. It's kind of similar to what the Stream Deck already does. Your production console. Go live, pan, zoom, change scenes, and more. Scrub, trim, and cut in post. It's a full-scale production crew on your desktop. Your studio controller. Lights, camera, satisfaction. Set the scene for perfect audience engagement, immersive creativity, or mellow chat and chill. Your favorite settings are just a tap or a twist away. Anything you want to be. Can I get rid of it? Get it off there. Get him out of there. Oh, these have all changed now. Ah, I see, said the blind man. Install over 200 ready-made plugins or map keyboard shortcuts to keys and dials. Stream Deck Plus integrates with any workflow from video creation, podcasting, live production to photo editing. I use it in Final Cut Pro. Did you like? There's a thing that I hate in Final Cut Pro, and it's when you want to change the audio level of a audio form, like a waveform. So you got visual and audio, and if you want to change it from 10 dB to 8 dB, you got to click and then you got to drag it down. Like you got to drag it down very finitely and then let it go. And sometimes you let it go and it drops to like 3 dB, or it jumps up to 15, or it never lands on what you want. Now, I know from my workflow, when I do my wave a day edits, I've got to go from 10 dB to -4, I think it is. So I set up a Stream Deck profile for Final Cut Pro that literally grabs the audio, reduces the volume to -4 dB, compounds the clip, and adds it back to the timeline. And it's quite literally one button press. So I'm in Final Cut Pro and I'm editing my wave a day and I'm like, okay, that's the audio. Click a button, done. All done. Like that's so much quicker than faffing around in Final Cut Pro and doing it all manually. Unbelievable. Like it's not just on the streams that I use my Stream Deck. I use it. It's there permanently for me. It's incredible. So here's some options that people have set up. You got lift, gamma, gain, offset. I guess that's showing a video edit. What's this showing? I guess that's a stream edit. But multi-actions, dude. These I literally use multi-actions all the time. This one here, start stream, welcome the chat, play the intro, unmute the mic. Don't forget in there, when you play intro, you've also got to add a delay for the intro to roll, but yeah. Extra Stream Deck real estate? Oh, you can just add more pages, of course. You can customize it to make it your own. Of course you can. Drag and drop setup makes just sense. It does. Smart profiles. It changes, when you change the app, it changes the profile. Super handy, hey. A digital mixer included. What? I don't know if I'd use this because I've got my own audio interface, but there's a mixer if you don't have one already? Jesus. Really? They're adding this to the whole thing? A hybrid mixer like no other. Stream Deck Plus and Wavelink are made for each other. Tap to mute channels, trigger SFX. Thought that was Sam Bankman-Fried. Turn to adjust your mic volumes to see level. Dude, that's... I mean, if you haven't already got an audio interface, you've got one right there. Does it get any better? Folders, of course, you can use folders. I've already used those. Dial stacks. Pile on the actions. Oh, the click of the button to go through folders. Share. Technical specs and there you go. Let's... Oh, by the way, they're key lights. Wow, I got to get some of those. Well, if this LED light ever dies, I will get some. Let's take a look at their promo video, though. This is what is the Stream Deck Plus from Stream Deck. Skis, let's go over here, Skis.
Hi, I'm Steggy from Elgato, and this is Stream Deck Plus.
Hey, Steggy.
Stream Deck Plus is the latest to join the Stream Deck family. Stream Deck Plus is a programmable USB controller designed to streamline your digital life. Whether that's live streaming, video editing, photo manipulation, general task management, and more. Armed with 8 of the same LCD keys that our other Stream Decks use, Stream Deck Plus brings 2 brand new inputs that'll help you take your workflow to the next level. Simply put, Stream Deck Plus marks the next major milestone for our Stream Deck products. In 2017, we launched the original Stream Deck, a 15-key controller that changed the way we live stream forever.
Totally. Like, this thing, I could not stream without it. Definitely cannot stream without that. You need it. You can use a touch portal if you want. As soon as you get a Stream Deck, you'll never go back. Never.
And since that release, we've come out with Stream Decks with more LCD keys, less LCD keys, or 0 LCD keys technically. And obviously since then we've come out with continuous software updates as well that have empowered Stream Deck's abilities so much. In the years since, we've added dozens of new plugins, an SDK for third-party developers and community members to create and release their own plugins, a dedicated plugin store, and thousands of free icon packs, royalty-free songs, and sound effects. But today, we look ahead towards the future with Stream Deck Plus, and the new functionality it brings to the table. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about that and what you can expect now, as well as in the future. So first off, let's start with the top half of Stream Deck Plus, where we have 8 LCD keys that will behave just like Stream Deck XL, and Stream Deck Mini.
Sweet.
So what you can do with our other Stream Decks, you can do with Stream Deck Plus.
That's
handy.
And
technically, we made these keys a little larger for Stream Deck Plus, so they're even more glanceable. Now for brevity, in this video, I'm going to be mainly focusing on what's new. Now, I highly recommend you check out some of our overview videos on our other Stream Deck products if you'd like to dive deeper into the LCD keys, or our Elgato Workshop channel if you'd like.
Elgato is... I gotta just pause it and say this. Elgato is such a rad company. I really want to have an endorsement from Elgato. I mean, everything they bring out is like awesome for streaming. If you make streaming your thing, which I have for the last 4 years, you're gonna eventually walk into Elgato and you're gonna be like, okay, it's expensive, but wow, that's cool, real cool. I bought this for my vehicle to do my streams from the vehicle. I had it on my, it's still got I stuck it on my dashboard. Now, at that point, I was using my laptop to control my streams when we were doing IRL streams driving, and I was using this Stream Deck to run commands, so I didn't have to touch anything, because you're not allowed to touch a VDU, a visual display unit, while you're driving. So I had my laptop with the screen off, and I had the Stream Deck here, and I was using it to control everything. So what I'm illustrating is that they've got products that fit every use case. You don't necessarily need this guy. You could get away with just this. I could use this instead of this, but because I already had that, and this was for the vehicle, now I don't use that in the vehicle, so I've got it here for additional shits and giggles for my Kick streams. Actually, I'm just using this on Kick, and I'm using it for sound bites, sound effects. That's all I'm using that for. But what I'm illustrating is that, crikey, I'd love to have an endorsement with Elgato, because I've already promoted their products for 4 years, and I just keep buying them as well. Shit.
I'd like to see specific Stream Deck plugin overviews to see how Stream Deck can help you with your workflow. So the bottom half of Stream Deck is where you'll find all the new additions here. Stream Deck Plus comes equipped with 4 endless dials and an LCD touch strip sitting above them.
So endless dial means it doesn't hit a point, like you can keep ramping it up and up and up. It never gets to a stop point or the this amp goes to 11, it doesn't ever get to the 10 or the 11. It just keeps going. So it's mappable to anything, basically.
Now, what does an endless dial mean? Well, it's how it sounds like. You can spin them forever in either direction. Now, this is great because this allows these dials to be used to control things that either don't have an end, like scrolling through a video editor timeline, or controls whose value might loop around. And just so it's clear,
cool.
The dials we have here have a nice tactile clicking rotation, allowing you to make the most precise controls without worry. And the dials press in as well for additional functionality.
See, ASMR. I'm going to buy one of these anyway, right? Like, I'm definitely buying one.
Clip.
So cool.
So above the 4 dials, we have the LCD touch strip, and this serves 4 main functions. It acts as the display for the dial actions below, so you never forget what actions are assigned to your dials. And not only is it a label for the action, but it'll also display important information like showcasing the current value your dial is set to, such as showing you what color temperature or brightness level your key light is set to. You can tap the touch strip to execute a command that's tied to the dial action. For example, if you have a dial set to control your key light's brightness, tapping the touch strip will turn that light on and off. You can tap and hold the touch strip to execute another command, such as having a setting reset to default like in our Camera Hub plugin. And finally, you can swipe left and right to navigate through Stream Deck pages. So unlike our other Stream Deck products,
that's cool. So you don't need a dedicated button like on this Stream Deck here. On my Stream Deck Mini, I've got obviously a dedicated button for page 2. So if I hit page 2, it just goes to the next page. And this is just to turn it off. But what they're saying is you don't need, with the Stream Deck Plus, you have a swipe function. Okay. I could stand corrected.
You don't need to take up space on your LCD keys with page left and right keys. It can all be done on the touch strip. Now, the touch strip is really what makes these dials on Stream Deck Plus Stream Deck dials, and not just your run-of-the-mill dials. Just like we did with LCD keys, the touch strip gives you that glanceability that Stream Deck is famous for. And the touch strip is also where you'll find all of your customization options, which we've really gone kind of nuts with. You can select or upload a background image that spans the whole touch strip. You can select or upload a segment background for your different dial actions. And you can customize the title and even the icon that's on the top layer. So it's never been easier to make Stream Deck Plus yours by customizing the looks to your preference, both with the amount of options we give you, as well as the images that we include within the Stream Deck app as well. You're never more than a few clicks away from a very stylish Stream Deck Plus. Moving on to the dials themselves, this is where you'll be doing most of your controlling. So in total, each dial action has 4 different inputs. You can spin clockwise, spin counterclockwise, tap the LCD touch strip, and tap and hold the LCD touch strip. Now, you might have noticed that I left out dial press. Now, why is that? Well, we've added a new way to organize your different dial actions for Stream Deck Plus called dial stacks. Dial stacks can almost be thought of as folders for dials. You can quite literally picture a bunch of different dial actions stacked on top of one another, and then you can cycle through this stack of actions by pressing in the dial. So for our Wavelink plugin, for example, you can press the dial to change between controlling your monitor mix, your stream mix, or both at the same time. And then if you want to mute one of those mixes, you just tap the touch strip. Now, dial stacks will allow you to stack any number of actions within a single dial, so you can really go crazy with this if you dare. But if you prefer maybe having your dials be single dial actions and you don't want to create stacks, the dial press will simply emulate the LCD tap function. So for example, if you wanted to have just one Wavelink mix on a dial, you could either tap the touch strip to mute that mix or press the dial to mute. We think with profiles, pages, and dial stacks that there are endless possibilities for you to be able to organize your different actions on Stream Deck Plus.
Wow. What you got there is basically another computer, right? Like the Stream Deck as it stands, it is a secondary computer next to your computer. Unbelievable. So cool.
And create a truly powerful workflow for whatever you specialize in. Now, I've grazed the subject of actions already, but let's quickly cover the new plugins we've created for Stream Deck Plus's dials for this launch. Now, our biggest integration by far is our Wavelink plugin. With Wavelink and Stream Deck Plus, you have the full experience of an audio mixer, except with none of the hassles of a million chords or confusing UIs. You can control the volumes for your different submixes or your master output mix. You can use the touch strip to mute these mixes. And don't forget, you still have those LCD keys for things like enabling and disabling VSTs. Now, you might be saying, I don't have a Wave microphone or Wave XLR. Do I need to buy one in order to use this awesome integration? Well, I'm glad you asked, fictional viewer, because one of my personal favorite features of Stream Deck Plus is that it activates Wavelink software. Meaning, if you have a Stream Deck Plus, you have full functionality of Wavelink software. So you can have a 10-year-old USB mic, or just the microphone on your PC's headset. It doesn't really matter because with Stream Deck Plus, it'll power Wavelink software and unlock a 9-channel digital audio mixer for your content creation needs. Now, combine.
So what you can patch in your own old school microphones and MacBook Pro microphone into that. That's
integration with the ability to use your Stream Deck as a soundboard, a Spotify controller, a music player, and more. And Stream Deck Plus is easily the most powerful desktop audio controller available. Moving on, we have a new camera hub integration for Stream Deck and Stream Deck Plus, and this gives you easy control over your camera's different settings like ISO, white balance, and shutter speed. But if you have Facecam Pro, it gives you even more control over things like...
Wait, how is it controlling the ISO of my camera? That's obviously only with a webcam, right? My camera is a GH5, which is the only connection it's got to the OBS is a camera source. So you can't. There's no way you can ramp the ISO and shutter speed of my GH5. Come on, now you're pushing it, Elgato.
And this gives you easy control over your camera's different settings like ISO, white balance, and shutter speed. But if you have Facecam Pro, it gives you even more control over things like manual focusing or controlling the digital pan, tilt, and zoom on Facecam Pro. We also have an integration with Control Center, allowing you to turn on and off and control the brightness and temperature of your key light air, ring light, and more.
Right.
Next, for Windows users,
for whenever I get key lights,
brand new volume controller plugin, which is exactly how it sounds. This will turn your dials into a volume controller, either for your entire system volume, or you can control specific app volumes, all from your Stream Deck Plus.
Nice.
Now, this is a nice, simpler alternative to using Wavelink to control your different app audios if you don't need to take advantage of features like submixes or VSTs. Lastly, to keep Stream Deck Plus open-ended, we have the dial hotkey action, which allows you to assign hotkeys to the different inputs of your dial so you can create completely custom actions for whatever program you want to use Stream Deck Plus with. Now, I personally love using my Stream Deck Plus in Final Cut Pro, where I can quickly scrub through my timeline and trim or blade cut my clips to speed up my editing process.
Rad.
And if you're creative, Sideshow FX offers some amazing pre-made profiles and icon packs for Stream Deck Plus with different creative apps, so you can dive right into improving your workflows in apps like Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, and Cubase at launch, and even more in the coming weeks. You can find these different packs at sideshowfx.net. But the idea here is to allow Stream Deck Plus's dials to have a baseline integration with any app that supports hotkey inputs, while we continue to bring out new direct integrations for Stream Deck Plus. And if you're curious, we're already working with third-party developers who have previously made some amazing Stream Deck plugins using our SDK. And we plan on having the SDK for Stream Deck Plus available very soon for third-party development. So hopefully you can see why we think that Stream Deck Plus is the next frontier for our Stream Deck product line. It's what you already know and love, but then with a few new tricks up its sleeve. When we released Stream Deck back in 2017, we had the tagline, "Evolve your content." Well, if you can believe it, we've evolved the evolution. I'm sure there's a Pokemon joke in there somewhere. We can't wait for you to get your hands on Stream Deck Plus. We think you're really going to love it. Stream Deck Plus is now available.
That's an Apple thing. We can't wait for you to get your hands on the iPhone 67. We think you're going to love it.
On Elgato.com. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit that like button and get subscribed to both our Elgato YouTube channel and our Elgato Workshop channel. Now, so you can catch the latest videos and tutorials to learn how to unlock the full power of your Elgato products.
Unfortunately,
again, I'm Segi from
it's extremely expensive in Australia. It's about $340. Stream Deck Plus, buy from our partners on Amazon. It's about $340. So it's an expensive addition to a stream. Oh, this is in euro. Why is it in euro? Why is it? It's gone to the German website. That's unusual. English. Why is it gone to German? Okay. I don't know why it did that. I do actually. I don't use this. This is Firefox, isn't it? Yeah, I don't use this browser. Let's click it again then. Yeah, $357. So you're not getting much change. Can you see that? If I get rid of my hideous head here. So $360. So it's an expensive addition to a stream, but holy crap, like you saw that. Like definitely worthwhile. Like if you can save for, I'm going to save for one. I'm definitely going to save for one. I might even, well, should I use my Stream Deck and in addition? I just love the idea of these tactile buttons for the cap game. It's going to be perfect. That's the Elgato video though. Let's take a look at someone's version or someone's review of said Elgato Stream Deck Plus. This is a channel by the name of Random Frank P. Do it. Short-term goals. Yeah, well, I've got this new gig starting soon. I'm going to be starting a new gig, which will stop me from streaming Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And the money that I earn from that, I'm definitely going to invest in the Elgato Stream Deck Plus, and I'm also going to invest in a Solo Shot 3 Plus, the Slack Tracker. I know I said I never would buy another one of those, but I'm probably going to buy the Slack Track 3 Plus.
What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P, and today we got a big one for you. Because Elgato just released the brand new Stream Deck Plus with a ton of new functionality to their product line. So if you want to check it out, we'll go over it all for you guys today, including my thoughts and opinions, my user experience and feedback, all that stuff, in case you're interested in the brand new Stream Deck Plus. So this new version is the 5th iteration of the Stream Deck, with the original and the updated Mark II, the 6-key Stream Deck Mini, 32-key Stream Deck XL, the app version of Stream Deck Mobile, and now the Plus.
Don't forget the foot pedal, dude. You forgot the foot pedal. I'm going to buy that too.
Yeah, $200, which is $50 cheaper than the XL, and only $50 higher than the original. And taking a look at it, the Plus features 2 components that are brand new to the Stream Deck lineup, with a screen in the middle and 4 dials below it, giving you 3 different ways to use and interact with your streams, editing software, gaming, anything you want to use this for. The possibilities truly are endless.
Now, if they supplied one without a touch bar, I'd probably go with that.
Which is what makes the Stream Deck lineup so useful and popular. So, up top are the 8 programmable LCD screen buttons, then is a 4x1/2-inch LCD touch panel, and then on the bottom are 4 multifunctional dials that can also be pushed in to actuate as another function. In terms of size, comparing it to the original, the device itself is about 35% larger, I'd say, and the 4 LCD screens are also just a bit bigger as well.
I find this guy hard to listen. Is he sped up his vocal or something?
Still, however, have that very soft and mushy actuation like in the past. I wish they would have updated that to be more satisfying and tactile when you press them. Now, since it is a bit on the bigger side, we have a permanent base attached to it, so it's always propped up and facing you, and
Nice.
The base is not removable, mainly because up top is the USB-C port, and if it was just lying...
Hey, is it USB-C now? That's not removable on these ones. Also, I don't really like how... Let's cut. Now I'm all out of sync. I don't really like how the cable comes from the top of that, because when it sits up there, it just looks lousy that it's hanging over the top like this. Where's my light here on my face? I think it would be better off coming from the bottom, but then of course that's when you take it out, it's easier to lift out. If it was coming from the bottom, you have to feed it through. It's also touching my microphone. But yeah, I like that. I mean, is that a Type-C cable then? Is that what they're saying? Like the whole thing, Type-C, or is it Type-C to A?
Flat on your desk, that would then interfere with the cable. So I understand why they went with that non-removable stand here. With that being said, I'm happy the cable is still removable and not internally attached, so you can swap cables if you want. Quick thing to point out is the Stream Deck Plus is also able to be used with a coil cable with an aviator connector. A lot of times, you know, peripherals and stuff.
Mal Pezzi, hey, do it, man. I need one of those. Absolutely. Every streamer needs a Stream Deck. Absolutely.
that needs more power typically don't work with cables like this because of the connection and the length of them, but it's good to see that this one actually does work. So if you have, coil cables, aviator cables, anything like that, you want to match it to your keyboard or your setup aesthetic, you can. Now, taking a deeper dive into the new features, let's talk about the touch bar. This 4-inch screen is most likely a repurposed Corsair iQ Nexus screen that they sold for their keyboards, now just combined into the Stream Deck since both companies are a part of the same family. The touch bar is obviously touch sensitive. You can use your finger to trigger a function on the screen or swipe to change pages, which is nice, versus in the past having to set a button or use software to change pages, but now swiping is just much more convenient. The screen is used to show what function is assigned below to the dial, and pressing on the touch function acts the same as if you were pressing in the actual dial to actuate it. Unfortunately, there is no tactile feedback on the touch bar, which would have been a nice addition, I think. And then for those 4 dials, they are 360-degree rotary encoders that, as I said, can also be pressed in to act as another function, like a quick mute, for example, when adjusting audio. But these dials, I think, are really going to be the new selling point for a lot of people, especially for streamers who want to...
Hey Charles, I noticed today that Kick uses the processor less than DLive watching your stream, so the end result, the battery lasts longer on my device. Huh, is that a fact? Wow, I didn't know that. So you get to watch longer without having to plug in. That's cool.
Change audio levels on the fly and fine-tune settings without having to actually pull up Streamlabs. All that stuff, you can now just easily do it at an arm's reach. They can be assigned in the software, which I'll show you coming up, and the dials themselves do have these physical tactile steps to them when turning them. They can also be assigned in the software to different steps, adjusting in increments of 1, 5, 10, or 25 steps. Then lastly, as I mentioned, we have the same LCD screens here that can be customized to display anything you want, GIFs included, and the process to change these is exactly like all the other Stream Deck models in the past. And speaking of which, let's head back to the PC and I'll show you the software real time and how you can configure the new dials, all that stuff for you. Okay, so into the Stream Deck software, and odds are if you've used any Stream Deck in the past, you're probably very familiar with it. Not too much has changed, except the new dials tab over on the right side here. That obviously is how you're going to configure your dials, coinciding with the screen right above it. I'm not going to go like in a very deep dive of the Stream Deck software because, like I said, you probably are very familiar with it by now, but I'll show you some of the dials and the plugins and stuff real quick just so you can see how it works. So you have everything laid out right in front of you, and when you swipe on the screen on the actual Stream Deck, it also will change on the actual program itself, which is nice to see, so you can see it all real time. So just to show you how I have it laid out, you saw you have like the brightness configurator, the dial stack, which is one of the things I want to focus on for you guys, a multimedia player, and a volume little dial here. So just to show you, again, I'll go over to a new page, dials. If you want to change the brightness, it's all the same. Drag and drop, you'll have the options here for a bunch of different things, and then you can go in and see what that actual action does, and it'll show you on the screen above it. So yes, that means you can't actually have a separate function on the touch screen and a separate function on the dial. They both are pretty much tied together. Now to show you the way I have it laid out, on the leftmost dial, that is the actual Stream Deck Plus brightness. You can adjust that if you want. And for the actual design on the screen, there are some things they can improve on. For the volume dial, you see when I turn up and down, what it does is it just has like a little overlay over the little logo there as it is. So I would like to see that kind of cleaned up a bit. It's kind of messy when it does that.
Yeah.
And also have the option, instead of just, a logo going left or right, to actually show me what number my PC volume is on. Now, next to that, this player button, I currently have this configured to change up any multimedia playing on the PC. So right now I have Spotify. You can see when I press play, when you actuate the dial, that is, it'll start. And then one of the things you can also do is change each track just by moving the dial left and right. So sort of the same thing here on the screen.
Don't play any of those.
It has that overlay.
We're on YouTube. Don't play any of those. Copyright.
Logo on top of the current logo. I would like to see that cleaned up a little bit, but not a big deal. Just showing you some of the stuff that it can do that you sort of got the gist of so far in the review. Now, one of the cool things you can do with these are called dial stacks. So over here, you'll see it's just one of the options. It's built into the actual Stream Deck plugins here. You have just the brightness and the dial stack right now. I assume as things come out, they're going to add a lot more over time. And a dial stack is pretty much adding, a bunch of different things on top of each other you can go through and cycle between on that one dial. So for example, I'll throw brightness here, multimedia, a different brightness for the lights and stuff, camera setting, and a wavelength setting. So I have 5 things here right on this dial stack. And you'll see in the device, right now it's at brightness, and every time I press it in, it'll go through that next function that I have set. So
basically,
like
basically this means it's endless. You see 4 buttons, but you basically have an endless amount of buttons.
Intuitive way of adding a bunch of things to one dial instead of having, you know, numerous pages, all different dials. It makes it really convenient here to just stack them like that. So I'm really digging dial stacks. And again, these are all ones that are currently just supported by Elgato, because technically I'm filming this before it actually comes out, so there's not a lot of plugins currently, obviously. So I do expect the dials to change and improve going forward, giving you a lot more customization. Now, one of the things you can also see with the little screen above it is it has a background. This is something you can just, you know, do natively in the software, open the background library, and they have a ton of built-in ones for you, which is pretty cool you can pick from. I have one of the gradient ones here, but they have a bunch to pick from just to give it some color and stuff. So I'll pick like this tree one, and boom, now the background, you can see it changed real time to the trees. But yeah, like I said, I'm digging the gradients. They're a lot more easy on the eyes. So actually I'll go with that one. But yeah, so one I had before, very quick and easy. And speaking of those plugins and stuff, built right in up top is the whole Discover tab through their Elgato store. And here are all the plugins which are currently just supported for the actual keys. Like I said, there's nothing really supported yet for these dials from third-party developers and stuff, because this isn't technically released yet. So I expect this to definitely be updated with a lot more functionality for those dials to be used. But yeah, there's hundreds of different plugins here. You can see there's a ton for all different genres. Super quick, you install it, and then if you want to go to add it, you go back to your keys, and odds are it'll be towards the bottom here. So I have some extra things added to these custom ones. So I'll show you real quick on my second page, you know, current Bitcoin prices, Apple stock, you have a little clock there.
No shit.
CPU usage. And then going back to the first page I have, this is pretty much the default thing that I have it set up as for when I'm gaming, which is all shadow play stuff for recording, getting gameplay footage for you guys. But yes, everything will get you add through the Elgato store gets added towards the bottom. So a bunch of stuff for controlling the Elgato camera, my nano leaf lights, the wavelength, all here, all drag and drop. So like I said, definitely, you know, not too much has changed. You just now have the iteration of the dials to the screen above it, with the main focus here being the dial stack integrated to make this just a lot easier.
So cool.
So as you saw, super easy to use. Everything's all drag and drop. And like I reiterated, this is brand new. So there's going to be a lot more options to configure and customize those dials once, you know, the public gets their hands on this. People can make their own and upload them. So there's going to be a lot more potential unlocked in the coming months, which is definitely good to see. But right now, if you want to buy it just for the day one release, if you have a bunch of Elgato products already, so like if you're streaming with their Link software, their microphones, the face cam, their lights, that's all just readily available and configured with the dials and stuff right now. So if you're in that whole ecosystem, you'll be fine. But like I said, there's gonna be a bunch more coming out down the line. Tie-ins with like Photoshop, Premiere, so it's all easily configured on the device itself. It's really gonna take off, like I said, once the public gets their hands on this. Now, in case you're wondering, a few months ago, I reviewed the Razer Stream Controller, which is pretty much their version of Loop Deck Live. That's similar to this in the sense where it has those LCD buttons, 8 buttons on the bottom, and 6 dials. So if you're curious on how they stack up next to each other, without getting too deep into it, because it's just a review of the Plus, what I could say is this. The user experience with Elgato and the Stream Deck and their software is miles ahead of where Loop Deck is at, because this was originally made just for like photo editing, video editing, all that stuff. They sort of, you know, with the collaboration with Razer, getting more into the streaming side of things, but the software is just way too tedious and too complex as of right now. You're buying the Elgato Stream Deck and the other Stream Deck products because it is so easy to use, very intuitive, user-friendly, so I'm still giving this the edge. The new dials, the new touchscreen, it's really gonna set it apart and make this, like I said, just a dream for streamers out there especially. That's one thing I didn't even really talk about in this review because it's kind of a given already. That's what the Stream Deck was originally made for. So now, yeah, streamers can definitely take advantage of this. The new dials, so much easier. But again, gaming, photo editing, video editing, there's no limits on what you can do. I'm loving it. The only 2 things I'll complain about, and that I mentioned this in this video, is the fact that I wish the buttons were tactile and not that mushiness that they currently are. and it definitely would have been
Mushiness.
nice to have some haptic feedback on the touchscreen. Two minor things that don't break the experience or take away from it overall, but would have been the cherry on top, I think. But in the end, for $200, that's really not too bad overall, considering what we're given here. And again, the Stream controller from Razer is $280 or $270, whatever. That's a lot more than what you're getting, and I think, like I said, you just have so much more potential with the Stream Deck Plus. So for that price, given the competition and given the overall functionality, it fits perfectly in their product line. And like I said, all thumbs up on my end. Definitely recommend this. I'm really happy and excited to see the community feedback and the community profiles and things they do with the Stream Deck software to
Very
upload
cool.
their own plugins and stuff coming up for the upcoming months. And guys, that'll wrap it up for this review of the Stream Deck Plus. If you appreciated it, give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.
Wow, there you go, folks. I'll give you in the chat that link if you want to check it out yourself. But yeah, like I said, amazing products from Stream Deck or from Elgato. I would love to. Well, I'm going to buy one anyway. And I've used them for so long that, like I said, you can't stream without them. Can't stream without a Stream Deck. You can use a touch portal, but as soon as you move to a product with tactile buttons, you'll never, ever, ever go back to having to look at an iPad to find the button. You'll always go straight to your Stream Deck and you'll touch buttons, you'll finger it, you'll love it, you'll enjoy it. And I'm excited to be looking to buying one of those at some point in the future. But I want to say thanks for being here with me on the stream, you fellow lovely yahoos. I'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers. Get out of here. Go on, out you go. Tap that Stream Deck with the foot pedal. That's what I'll be doing now. I already did it with my finger. Get out of there. Go on.